So, what would you do if you bought a brand new transmission, you installed it in your truck, and then it just was forcing fluid out the weep hole in the tail shaft? And what I mean by that is, on the yoke that slides into your transmission, right here, you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. There's a little pinhole behind here, behind the U-joint. That's for ventilation, because you can't compress a hydraulic. So if something was to happen and behind the splines in your yoke filled up with fluid and you hit a bump and that compressed, you can't compress a hydraulic. The fluid has nowhere to go quick enough. Boom, things break. That's why there's a hole there. That's not supposed to have fluid pumping out of it. That transmission had fluid pumping out of that hole when it was running. Then when you shut it off, it would continue to leak out of that hole for like 30 minutes. This transmission's a replacement for that transmission. Now, what would you do if you bought a transmission that leaked so bad and there's nothing you could do about it because you'd void the warranty by fixing it? You had to get a replacement, and then you put the replacement in, and it doesn't leak like that one did. The tail shaft ain't leaking no more, but now it's leaking a bunch of other places. So this is transmission number 2 that's just leaving little drips all over my garage floor. So the seal that the torque converter slides into is leaking. The bolt that holds, one of the bolts that holds the pump in, has got transmission fluid coming out from around it. It was leaking where the governor cover is on the side of the transmission. I tapped it with a rubber mallet and it quit leaking. The pan was leaking until I'd tightened all the bolts all to hell. And now you'll notice that seal is nice and dry around the drive shaft, around the yoke right there. Nice and dry, but it's constantly freaking wet right here around the bottom of the seal, to where this seal is leaking around the outside of the seal, between the seal and the transmission case. Like, I've seriously, this is the third or fourth time I've made, this is the fourth time I've made this video, and I've wiped this off a whole bunch of times, and it just keeps coming back. But if anybody from TCI Transmissions and TCI Automotive is watching right now, make sure you pay close attention to where I'm pointing. So yeah, transmission number 2 that's a pile of crap, made by TCI Automotive. That's awful funny. I can put together a whole engine, you know, a whole different bunch of parts from a whole different bunch of brands and manufacturers and stuff, you know, and I can put it all together and make it not leak. You guys can't put a freaking 700 R4 together and make it not leak. Like, seriously, 2 in a row that's just pissing fluid all over my garage floor. Like, this one only leaks when it's running, at least. I mean, it doesn't just keep leaking. I mean, it drips, but it doesn't leak unless it's running, really. So, and it doesn't leak as bad as that one. But now I'm stuck with, you know, take the transmission back out to fix what they didn't, or take it back out and tell them to stick it directly. I'm driving this thing down the road, I smell burning transmission fluid. I come up to a stop sign or a stop light, and you come to a stop, and you sit there for a second, and then all of a sudden you see smoke kind of just coming out from under the truck, just a nice oil fog smoke from slinging fluid all over my headers. And yeah, I don't have an inspection plate on it. It's on that transmission still, which, by the way, is not a 700 R4. Been arguing with people about this. Yes, it's got the plug right there, but it's also got the vacuum modulator. It's got the pressure switch down here, or whatever the hell that is. That's a Turbo 350 lockup style Turbo 350. It's a Turbo 350C or something like that. But that's a lockup Turbo 350 3-speed. It's not a 700 R4, but you can replace it with a 700 R4. But no, I'm not using a factory computer or nothing. This transmission actually came with a kit to do away with the factory computer, even though my engine don't make enough vacuum to make it work. So I'm gonna have to, you know, do it manually anyway. It won't work automatically because this engine don't pull enough vacuum. Anyway, I'm clearly just way irritated, so I'm going to stop talking now and shut the video off. But yeah, that's the kind of luck I'm having with this stupid transmission company. TCI Automotive, TCI Transmissions and Converters, nah, no more. No more. Like, I'm never buying that brand again. And I actually need a transmission for my 4-wheel drive, and it won't be a TCI transmission. I bet you money on that.